a year. And oh, come on! Well, the bell hasn't sounded, so this isn't a disqualification. No. And off we go. Straight in there. Kid Lykos II with a brain buster. Gonna get it done early. Oh, Rhio kicks out. If I were Lykos I, I'd be very wary of what I do. If I get involved in this match, that's a disqualification for Lykos II and a banishment from the title scene. Rhio getting jumped at the start of this tournament. And as I was saying, as Rhio gets the boots put to her by Lykos II, Rhio hasn't suffered a pinfall loss or a submission loss in North Wrestling for over 1 full calendar year. She's turned back challenges from the likes of Charlie Morgan, Eve Bateman, our very own North faithful North superstar Gia Adams as well. Tonight, should Rhio go all the way in this tournament, and right now it's not looking particularly likely, if Rhio goes all the way in this tournament, she outperforms two of North Wrestling's most established female performers in Gia Adams and Little Miss Roxy for most victories in a North Wrestling ring. To do that, she has to overcome the entirety of the NCL Cup bracket one way or another. Right now, Lykos II, 1/3 of the notorious bad boy Gym Gang, is seeing the error of his ways. And here comes Rhio now. First bit of action for Rhio in this tournament. Those forearm strikes. Winner of this match will face either Lizzy Evo or Jake Silver in the next round. Jake Silver, who we spoke about in the pre-show, is replacing an injured Natalie Sykes in this tournament. Enziguri by Rhio. And Rhio, beautiful double underhook suplex by the Red Rose among the Thorns. Northwest Strong with a spinning wheel kick. Jake Silver stepping in, just a 2.5 count for an injured Natalie Sykes in the opening round. Also in the opening round, Will Kroos, the King of the North, faces Luke Jacobs. What is said to be a demolition derby between those two. And Jack Bandicoot, the other half of Crash Boat, goes up against Jet Marshall. Rounding out our opening round of the tournament, here comes Kid Lykos II. Spinning kick from Lykos II into that octopus stretch. There's a 10-minute time limit on this match, and we are already halfway through that time limit. When it expires, the match continues with no rope breaks, which means it makes submissions a very interesting proposition. On the shoulders of Rhio, Kid Lykos II overpowered. Dropped on her knee, Ushi-Goroshi style. Pump handle from Rhio into a powerbomb. 2 count only. Strong start from Northwest Strong, Rhio. Kid Lykos there saying, I can't interfere in this match, and he knows the ramifications if he does. Normally, a bit of naughtiness from the bad boy Gym Gang is pretty standard. Tonight, they have been clipped at the knees there. NCL Cup opening round action still to come tonight. A huge night of action. Boisterous behavior for the first time ever. Put the tag team titles on the line against the Knights, Ricky Knight Jr. and Zach Zodiac here at Anarchy Brew for the first time ever. We've also got the Ultraviolent Championship on the line. Rory Coyle finally facing off against Clint Margera after months and months of frustration between those two. But the night, the story of the night is for that trophy at ringside, which, very nearly, Kid Lykos II got one step closer to with that. Oh, come on now, Kid Lykos II, dangerously close to getting Kid Lykos II disqualified. Lykos won on the apron. So far, John Myers says no interference has been run, but Lykos II's got a weapon! And Rhio kicks him into his head! Good night, Lykos I! And now Rhio! That double underhook pile driver! The Red Rose planting Lykos II I'm buzzing for this one. What an opening round for the tournament we've got. We've got technical masters. We've got speed. We've got strength. We have got some heavyweights in this as well. The NCL Cup brings all shapes, all sizes. Show respect from Jack Bandicoot. Bell sounds. 10 minutes on the clock, lads. Let's get this party started. You're going to want to pay close attention to this one. It is going to be as fast as you've ever seen in an NCL ring. Jack Bandicoot working over Jet Marshall now. Irish whip across the ropes. Marshall reverses. Back and forth. Cross-body ducks. Bandicoot sees it coming. And now Bandicoot sending Marshall to the outside. Cross-body. The Pride of West Whopper flying through. Warp speed, and Marshall cuts him off. Springboard drop kick, and Jet Marshall, he's going to fly as well. Brighouse bringing it to you. Straight into the North Faithful. They've got to be mindful outside of the ring. In an NCL Cup match, not only do we have a 10-minute time limit, but a 5 count instead of a 10 count outside the ring. You haven't got time to hang around. That diving uppercut from Jet Marshall. Not dissimilar from a Will Ospreay hidden blade, just getting a 2 count there on Jack Bandicoot. Clock is ticking between Jack Bandicoot and Jet Marshall. The NCL Cup is thick and fast, it's hard and heavy. And a chop across the chest to Jack Bandicoot may just ground him. Bandicoot absorbs it. I think these two are going to slow it down and light it up. Knife edge chop by Jack Bandicoot. Marshall returns the favor. Sound of these chops. Oh. Knife edge chop without the gloves. And Jack Bandicoot! We've seen him getting to grips with that new move. It's only a 2 count, that jetpack to Jet Marshall. Incredible move by Jack Bandicoot. Very rare is there an opponent that he could pull that off on, and today he didn't. Oh, Bandicoot looking to go top rope, and Jet Marshall stops him going for the lights. Fisherman's hook, fisherman's suplex, fisherman's buster. Go fish, maybe. Jawbreaker from Jack Bandicoot. Well, that pop-up cutter misses, as does the senton. These two have each other so well scouted. Jack Bandicoot and Jet Marshall, opening round match of the NCL Cup. Marshall sees it coming. Into the backdrop from Marshall. Could the infamous Jet Marshall, who has had some huge matches in his last few months at North Wrestling, kick his way into the next round of the NCL Cup? What a night it will be for Jet Marshall after seemingly months of, oh my God! A diving cutter, are you kidding me? Who is set to be One stepping out, and Lizzy Evo stepping over. Lizzy Evo wants to get to the second round very quickly. We're seeing a lot of this so far, a lot of quick starts. They know that the time limit is not their friend to North Wrestling competitors, and these early jumps before the match starts is giving them a clear advantage, and Lizzy Evo just wants the count out. It's a 5-second count out in an NCL Cup match. Not 10 seconds, just your 5. And Lizzy Evo is trying to utilize that to her advantage. Jake Silver's got 50% less time to recover from this early attack than normal. Jake Silver taking every possible second of it, but Lizzy Evo waiting. You don't get many sharks in the River Mersey, but Lizzy Evo certainly becoming one of them. We've seen Lizzy Evo really grow into her own as a performer in the last 12 months. It wasn't that long ago that she was mixing it up with Mickie James outside of North Wrestling. Imagine what an NCL Cup win would do to not just the credentials, but the swagger of Lizzy Evo. Jake Silver, though, desperate to try to get back in this. What a story this would be. Jake Silver, a last-minute addition to this tournament. He and Jack Bandicoot, both in the opening round. And if Jake Silver can somehow find a way past Lizzy Evo, imagine Jake Silver being the understudy that takes the lead role in the North Wrestling story. Stranger things have happened, and well, that's just muscle memory from Jake Silver. Looking to tag Jack Bandicoot. It's not a tag match, fella. Muscle memory from Silver doesn't pay off, and Silver back in the fight now. Somersault into a sunset flip. Just a 2-count. Lizzy Evo gets the shoulder up. Silver now, the pop punk kid, looking to pop Lizzy Evo out of the tournament. Winner of this match, we know for a fact, will face Rhio. Will it be Jake Silver? Will it be Lizzy Evo, who stands to slow down the process of Rhio in the semi-final? We will find out. Beautiful fisherman suplex with the cradle. It's a 2. We've seen Jack Bandicoot really establish himself as a singles performer. We haven't seen that coming out party for Jake Silver, though. This tournament could very well be said coming out party if the pop punk kid can land what he's thinking here. But here's Lizzy Evo back to her feet. Slowing down Silver. Lizzy up top now. We thinking a German suplex off the top for Lizzy Evo. Third time's the charm with that elbow. And here comes Jake Silver all the way up. Moonsault maybe. Lizzy rolls forward, and Jake Silver finds no water in the pool. Oh, look at the sound these forearms are making. Not the fight Lizzy Evo was expecting, but she's up for it, as is Jake Silver. All about the NCL Cup. Only one of these two will make it to the semi-finals. Swing and a miss. Here's Lizzy Evo. And Rich Swift caught in the crossfire. Jake Silver, with his Wumpa fruits mangled, gives Lizzy the win.
Here is your winner, advancing to the semi-finals of the NCL Cup, Lizzy Evo.
And the liver bird flies once more. Lizzy Evo punching her ticket to the semi-finals. Debutante, Luke Jacobs. What an impact Northwest Strong's Luke Jacobs could make if on his first night under the roof of Anarchy Brewery, he wins the NCL Cup. 5 years in the industry for the young gun from Manchester. He has become a master of the lariat, and it's one that Will Kroos up and down the country has felt. However, we are in Will Kroos' back garden now. This is North Wrestling. Will that change the tide? Heavyweight collision in the final match in the opening round of the NCL Cup, and Luke Jacobs driven into the corner by Will Kroos. The power of Jacobs! 2 count only. Jack Bandicoot in the semi-final, as is Rhio and Lizzy Evo, beating late substitution Jake Silver. We need to point out that Natalie Sykes, despite what Lizzy Evo just said with our own Fraser Porter, Natalie Sykes is legitimately injured. She cannot compete in this tournament tonight. There's some strong words by Lizzy Evo. She is assured that she will win the tournament. To do so, she'll have to get through some tough competitors, and very much certainly one of these two. North Wrestling presenting the first NCL Cup. 10 minutes on the clock. When the 10 minutes run out, it's no road breaks until there is a winner. There are no 10 counts, there are just 5 counts. If there is a run-in, there is a disqualification and a banishment from the title division. It must be settled in the ring in the NCL Cup. The time limit is not your friend in this match. These two need to get it done quick. They need to mow down their respective citadels very quickly. Godzilla and King Kong in the center of North Wrestling, but with mere minutes to get the job done. And right now, Kroos on the receiving end of some short but heavy offense from Luke Jacobs. North Wrestling becoming the place for wrestlers across the world to make an impact, and Luke Jacobs knows it. And there are not many that can say they've had this effect on Will Kroos. Luke Jacobs is in very purified air right now, as Will Kroos is down at his feet. Not many can say they've done that to Kroos. Luke Jacobs across the back of Will Kroos at the conclusion of this NCL Cup opening round match. We will have the tag team titles decided. Boisterous Behaviour versus the Knights. That is to come after this match. Once we know the lay of the land in the NCL Cup, the tag team title action will get underway. But right now, Luke Jacobs and Will Kroos. Whoa! Kroos absorbing that lariat. Almost woke him up. Who uses a lariat like a shot of caffeine? Will Kroos, that's who! He's big, he's bad, he will body slam the champ should he make it through the NCL Cup. Crucifixion on the way for Jacobs. Forearm to the head, and these two heavy hitters dropping bombs right now. And there's Luke Jacobs. Oh, Jacobs! Snap German suplex by Kroos, countering the Samoan drop. Half Nelson by Jacobs. Luke Jacobs with the lariato. Up top goes Luke Jacobs now, but Kroos already back to his feet. The strongest of strong start. Oh my God, a superplex. This will destroy the ring. Did you see the reverberation when that devastation hit the canvas? And Will Kroos can feel it. He has been denied North Wrestling titles multiple times. If he punches, if he crashes through 2 more competitors after Luke Jacobs and takes home the NCL Cup, he may be denied no longer. Will Kroos wants to put away Luke Jacobs. Are we thinking powerbomb? Are we thinking pile driver? Powerbomb said no, and here comes Luke Jacobs. Swing and a miss. Oh, and there's a short arm clothesline. Oh my God, a one count. Lariato! No! Luke Jacobs gave it his all, and one more. He has got one more lariat in the chamber. He's going to go full Stan Hansen on Will Kroos to get to the semi-finals. Oh, Kroos caught it. Kroos caught it. Sleeper hold by Jacobs, trying to slow down Will Kroos. Luke Jacobs pulling back. But Kroos fighting out. Oh my God, chop to the face. And that sleeper once more. Kroos got him up on the shoulders. But this is just going to wear out Will Kroos. Kroos looking for his head. What's Kroos thinking here? What's Kroos thinking? Jesus! Like a car wreck in the corner. And Will Kroos calls for the crucifixion. What is the NCL Cup gonna look like with this metaphorical bulldozer charging through it? Will Kroos may have just become the most dangerous competitor in the NCL Cup with that victory over Luke Jacobs. Will Kroos punching his ticket to the semi-final. Jack Bandicoot, you've got a job on your hands, son. Lizzy Evo and Rhio rounding out the semi-finals. Rhio is on the verge of being the most successful female performer in North wrestling history should she win the North Cup tonight. But she's got to get past somebody who knows the key to beating her. And it's a quick roll-up. So it's an NCL Cup match. Just to remind you of the rules, there is a 10-minute time limit. That is why you're seeing everybody go at 100 miles an hour at the start of these matches. When the 10-minute time limit expires, there are no rope breaks until there is a conclusion. Instead of a 10 count outside the ring, you have a 5 count. Interference will lead to a disqualification and a title banishment for 12 months. And Rhio looking to banish Lizzy Evo from this tournament very quickly. The winner of this match has yet another contest to think about after this. The finals of the NCL Cup. So the strategy from all sides is to get it done quick and get rested. And here comes Rhio now charging at Lizzy Evo, and Evo, the liver bird, sending Rhio into the ground there. And this arrogant swagger of Lizzy Evo, who has her sights set on winning the NCL Cup to spite the North Faithful. And she is an incredibly capable performer who knows what it takes to beat a performer like Rhio. There you see the NCL Cup in the background. The winner of this contest will go into the finals to face either Jack Bandicoot or Will Kroos. It's a 1 count on Rhio there. And Evo can't believe it. Tall order for Jack Bandicoot. I'm not one to count somebody out of a tournament, but tall order for Jack Bandicoot in there with Will Kroos, who demolished Luke Jacobs to get into the semi-finals. You've got to believe it's the biggest challenge of Jack Bandicoot's career coming up in our next semi-final. But right now, Rhio finds herself on the receiving end of those boots and those strikes from Lizzy Evo. This is a redemption story arc, if you will, for Lizzy Evo. She had a war with North Wrestling favorite Gia Adams that she didn't come out too favorably on. And winning the NCL Cup in her eyes is, well, as I say, it's her redemption. An arrogant cover in a tournament like this, a surprise move by Evo. Be that as it may, she continues the assault on the back of Rhio here. The red rose amongst the thorns finds herself in a prone position in the grip of Lizzy Evo here. Oh, what a combination of final matches we could see in the NCL Cup at this point. Lizzy Evo, Will Kroos, Lizzy Evo and Jack Bandicoot, Rhio and Jack Bandicoot, Will Kroos and Rhio. Some incredible combos that we could see right now. It is looking like Lizzy Evo is making her way to the finals. Oh, and that camel clutch turned into a dragon sleeper. Wearing down and bearing down on Rhio here. Oh, the power of Rhio on show here. The deadlift on Northwest strong. Sends Lizzy Evo into the corner, and Evo immediately back, not wasting any time. Evo's had a strategy go from the moment that this tournament began. She has played it perfectly so far. I don't think she counted on Rhio being as strong as she was, and Rhio back to her feet. Evo's up, Evo's got to climb down, Evo's down, Rhio off the ropes. Boot to the chest, takes the wind out of Rhio. No question who the North Faithful's favorite is in this one. Evo called her into an STO and she hit it perfectly. Just a 2. Did you hear that from Lizzy Evo? And out of the ring goes Rhio. She's only got 5 seconds to get back into the ring per the rules of the NCL Cup. Less time to find your feet once again and get your bearings, and Lizzy Evo plays that perfectly. Straight out the other side. A strong strategy by Lizzy Evo. She will take a count out into the next round. Absolutely. And I think she's about to. Oh, Rhio just getting back in there. Only a 5 count in an NCL Cup match. You've got less time to recover. 50% less time to recover. And now Rhio looking for that double underhook into a pile driver that we've seen Rhio utilizing, and Rhio says no. Lizzy bearing down, Rhio pushing up. And here comes Rhio, an opportunity now. Butterfly suplex as Rhio climbs back into this match. Oh, Lizzy Evo, she's seen that one, well scouted by Rhio, that spinning wheel kick, and oh, Rhio saw that coming too. Evo up top, Ushigoroshi! The talk on Lizzy Evo's head. Just a 2 count. We have got to be approaching that 10-minute time limit. When that time limit hits, the match continues with no rope breaks, no respite, no escape. There must be a winner. Oh, Rhio package pile driver time, maybe. Oh, headbutts. Took the strength out of Rhio, and that German suplex may have taken the wind out. Running knee, and Rhio finds the side of the ring. She's not out of the ring, she's under the ropes. No pinfall can take place there. Rhio keeping hold of the ropes there while rope breaks are still in effect. Two count, and Lizzy Evo seems to have hurt her leg here, maybe injured her foot. This match has been fast-paced and hard-hitting from the off, taking a toll on both of these competitors. Whatever is left of either one has got to go into the next round, the finals of the tournament, to meet either Jack Bandicoot or Will Kroos. Boot by Rhio as Lizzy Evo's hobbling. Rhio out the corner. Oh, and a spear from Lizzy Evo landed perfectly. That will not do it. Lizzy Evo's face said it all there. Big move from Evo's arsenal would not get the job done. Oh, and the knee pad is coming down on Lizzy Evo's attire. That means she's going to hit that running knee. It's going to be all bone to the head of Rhio. Referee's discretion here. Lizzy goes for it. Rhio sees it coming. Roll up. 2 count only, and Rhio moving quick. Fisherwoman's Buster. Two, yeah, Rhio, that was 2. In the deep water of this semi-final contest, Rhio has got to be looking for that double underhook, package pile driver! The Red Rose rises!
Here is your winner, advancing to the finals of the NCL Cup, Rhio!
Oh, check this out. It is a David versus Goliath battle at the brewery. Jack Bandicoot, Will Kroos, one-on-one for the very first time. In every physical optic, Will Kroos outmatches Jack Bandicoot. Height, weight, even down to wrestling history, even down to title accomplishments up and down the country. But Jack Bandicoot has optics that you cannot measure. Intangibles. Well, these two have been on the same side of the North Book for some time, and oh! Jack went for a cutter and Will said no, and Kroos came in looking for a bit of a laugh, a bit of a knockabout with Jack Bandicoot, and Bandicoot's here to play. Bandicoot's not here to mess around. He's here to fight. So Jack has got to have a strategy in mind here. Even a speed game may not necessarily be the way to go, because Will Kroos is shockingly quick as well. He may not need the speed though. That's my thoughts exactly, Jack. My thoughts exactly. North faithful very much on the side of Will Kroos here. But there's love for Jack Bandicoot too. Kroos is offering Jack a run-up. Bandicoot running into a brick wall here. Maybe time to find another route around, Jack. Oh, Inzaguri. Kroos is rocked. Kroos rocked. Oh, Jesus. Bandicoot rolled. Will Kroos just flattening Jack Bandicoot here. We knew this would be an uphill struggle for Jack Bandicoot. For Will Kroos, he's got to be wary of the NCL Cup rules. I'll remind you again, it is a 10-minute time limit. After that, rope breaks are off until there's a winner. There is no 10 count outside the ring. There is just a 5 count. And there is no interference, lest you get banished from the title picture at North Wrestling. As Will Kroos looked to banish Jack Bandicoot's ribs from his chest with that chop, and now Kroos lifting Bandicoot like a bairn. Jack not so much to Will Kroos. Oh God. Oh, and Jack sends Will to the outside. Big kick by Bandicoot. Springboard onto Will. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. They've got a 5 count to get back in the ring. I'd be mindful of that. Oh my God. Kroos getting back in at 4.5 and throwing Jack Bandicoot about 5 yards in the process. For Kroos, he doesn't want to expend too much energy lest he be worn out by the final where he knows he will face Rhio. And right now he's just playing with his food here. There's Jack Bandicoot. Kick to the solar plexus of Kroos, and oh God. Every time Jack Bandicoot gets a glimmer of hope in this match, Will Kroos demolishes that hope. Whatever Will Kroos is thinking here might just be the end of the night for Jack Bandicoot. Jesus. A hell of a showing for Jack Bandicoot in the opening round. But the luck of the seeding of this tournament has not been kind. Bandicoot taking a breather outside the ring here, and he's rolled under the ring, I think. Where's he gotten? Kroos looking for Jack Bandicoot. Wait, there's Jack Bandicoot. He's on the other side of the ring. He's on the other side. And whoa! Will Kroos got counted out! Jack Bandicoot! What?
Advancing to the finals of the NCL Cup, Jack Bandicoot!
Bandicoot rolled under the ring, and when Will Kroos went hunting for him, he appeared on the other side of the ring. Kroos didn't make the 5 count. Bandicoot's in the final! Show of respect, frustration by Will Kroos. He's like, you got me. You got me. Oh. Class move by Will Kroos. He knows on this night it wasn't him, but wow, Jack Bandicoot somehow, some way is in the finals of the NCL Cup. David beats Goliath, and so it'll be Jack Bandicoot and Rhio in the finals to determine the first holder of the NCL Cup. Oh, an unpredictable tournament so far, and oh, come on! What? What are you doing, Will? Frustration in Will Kroos overflowing. Will, no. Come on now, Will, no. No. He is gutted through tonight. He refuses to take anything less than the cup at the end of what has been the toughest night in his wrestling career. Both want it badly, only one can have it.
Your time for this is the final of the NCL Cup. There will be a 10-minute time limit. Should the time go beyond, the match will continue with no rope breaks. Assuaging the standard 10 count outside the ring, the competitors will have until 5 to re-enter. And should anybody interfere during this contest, they will be disqualified from competing for a North Wrestling Championship for 12 months. Those are the rules, and this is your main event of the NCL Cup. Introducing in the corner to my left, the first finalist. She is the Red Rose among the Thorns, North Faithful. This is Rhio! Introducing to my right, the second finalist, fighting out of West Wampa. And representing Crash Boats, North Faithful, this is Jack Bandicoot!
That's what it's all about, the NCL Cup. Familiar oxygen for Jack Bandicoot. He has headlined now 3 North Wrestling events. He was a competitor in Let the Cannons Fly 3, and he and Jake Silver took on boisterous behavior in the finals of the North Wrestling Tag Team Championship Tournament. He came up short on all of those occasions. He needs to change the tide tonight. For Rhio, this is her first main event in North Wrestling history. If she can win the NCL Cup, she will surpass Gia Adams and Little Miss Roxy as the most successful women's performer in North Wrestling history and be a placeholder in history as the first holder of the NCL Cup. Both of these two have so much on the line here tonight. Mentally, emotionally, physically, they are spent, they are hungry, and it is all about that trophy that you see in the background, the NCL Cup. Only one can leave with that prestigious prize. For Jack Bandicoot, it's been a tough night at the office. It's certainly not been easy for Rhio either, who has had to turn back an old nemesis in order to get here tonight. For Jack Bandicoot, he's had to survive a monster in Will Kroos. They have been on separate, arduous journeys, and their paths cross in the main event of the NCL Cup. Headlock by Rhio, who has the strength advantage over Jack Bandicoot. She's also got a stamina advantage as well. She has had more time to prepare for this match than Jack Bandicoot. Sure, it may only be about 10-15 minutes of difference, but in a situation like this, it makes all the difference. Jack Bandicoot is known to fight from underneath, though. This is not unusual territory for him. Bandicoot drops, skins the cat, drops the senton bomb. 2 count by Jack Bandicoot. He wants to get it done quick. There is a 10-minute time limit on this match. Should the time limit expire, the match will continue without rope breaks. We will have a winner in the NCL Cup. Oh, that spinning wheel kick, that devastating boot that we've seen play its part in this tournament for Rhio. As we've seen that play a part too, that rolling fisherwoman's buster. It doesn't quite get it done right now. For both of these two, it is, as I have been saying all night, a coming out party. As singles competitors, particularly for Jack Bandicoot, who is keen to win his first piece of, in this case, silverware as part of North Wrestling. Same story for Rhio. Can Jack Bandicoot, if he picks up the win tonight, be that blemish on the record of Rhio, who has not been pinned in North Wrestling for over a year? And he is keen to be the one, to be the one, if you will. Bandicoot shaking off that neck trauma from being dropped on the ring apron by Will Kroos after the semi-final match. Roll through. Cradle. 2 count only as Rhio rolls up and boots Jack Bandicoot into the corner. Rhio wearing out Jack Bandicoot. Not a single person has taken their eyes off the ring here at North Wrestling. The North Faithful has been in great voice all night long. And the story of the night has been the NCL Cup. Both competitors on their 3rd outing of the night. And Jack Bandicoot, as the ref asking Bandicoot if he's okay, if he's good to carry on. At this point in the fight, you know that Jack Bandicoot, he's not giving up. Monkey flip into the corner. There is a special intangible that is driving Jack Bandicoot forward. You can't measure it in inches, pounds, ounces or stone. But Rhio looking to get the measure of Jack Bandicoot with these chops. Rhio wearing down Bandicoot on that top rope. Looking for something big here. Avalanche swinging neck breaker. And on that injured neck of Jack Bandicoot, that's +2 damage. Rhio's strategy is simple. Wear out the neck. Whether it's for better or for worse, she knows that neck is a target and she's going to work on it. Crank it down on that neck after that avalanche swinging neck breaker. She's going to crank the neck as well and maybe force Jack Bandicoot to tap out here. No quit in Jack Bandicoot so far in this match. Right across the back of Bandicoot. And Rhio just laying those strikes in. Two count and almost out of instinct, Jack Bandicoot is just shooting that shoulder up. There's a risk of long-term damage here. But Jack continues on and Rhio wants to finish things off this super effective underhook package pile driver. Trying to hit it and Jack fights out of it. Got Rhio up for the jetpack. Jetpack launches. We saw him pull that out against Jet Marshall in the opening round and An opportunity for Jack Bandicoot to defy the odds once more. Rhio stops him on that top rope. Here comes Rhio now. Jack Bandicoot hooked. Fighting out of it, holding on for dear life. This superplex could mean disaster as we edge closer to the end of the 10-minute time period here in this NCL Cup final. Bandicoot all the way up top. And Rhio sees it coming. Rhio stops the rot. Bandicoot taking a second too long up there, giving Rhio a chance to come back into it. And Rhio now with Jack Bandicoot all the way up top. Looking down on Anarchy Brewery, coming down with a thud!
The 10-minute time limit has expired, and this match will continue with no rope breaks.
Welcome to the deep water. Rhio and Jack Bandicoot exceed the 10-minute time limit of an NCL Cup match. There must be a winner. Rope breaks are out. Still a 5 count. If you land outside the ring, it will be devastating if this tournament ended with a count out. But at this point, take what you can. Jack Bandicoot and Rhio back to their feet. Both of these fiery competitors digging deep. And here we go. We are beyond Thunderdome, if you will. 10 minutes up and counting. Chokehold, rear naked choke from Rhio. Jack Bandicoot falls back into it. And the pain shooting through the neck of Jack Bandicoot. Unparalleled. Rio's got that in tight. Jack Bandicoot, nowhere safe for him to move to. Trying to roll through it now. Oh, and Rhio turns it into a modified camel clutch. Jack trying to push on through it, but no rope breaks. Beyond the 10-minute point, there's no rope breaks. Rhio doesn't have to let go. Jack's got to find a way out of this. Jack might be out. Oh, he's not out. Jack pushes back through. Chicken wing. Jack Bandicoot now trying to wear down Rhio. Bandicoot's got that in tight, and Rhio seems to be making the crawl towards the ropes, but there's no rope breaks. Muscle memory from both Jack Bandicoot and Rhio to grab the ropes. Oh, but to the outside of the ring. Rhio found a way to break through, but now these two on the outside, they've got a 5 count to get back into the ring here. Referee up to 4 now. Oh, they both know they don't want it to end that way. Back in the ring they go. They both made the count. The match continues. What a final. What a main event in the NCL Cup. One's leaving with the trophy. Will it be Rhio? Will it be Jack Bandicoot? Oh, these two exchanging strikes now. I don't know how good an idea that is with the state of Jack Bandicoot's neck. Rhio staggers back. Rhio rocks Jack Bandicoot. Jack Bandicoot gives everything behind that punch there. Rocks Rhio once more. Oh, Rhio screaming back to her feet. And the fight is on. Bandicoot with a cutter. A desperation cutter. And now Jack Bandicoot going to go all the way up. Can the boy wonder pull this one out? Took too long. Bandicoot now with Rhio in a bad position. What's Jack thinking here? Oh my God! Senton on the back of Rhio. Up top goes Jack Bandicoot, the high rent district. What a story for Jack Bandicoot! Reaches for it all! The boy wonder, the comeback kid, call it what you... 2 count for Jack Bandicoot. The story far from over. Bandicoot can't believe it. He's got to start thinking quick. Something big to keep the pressure on. Oh, is he going for that package pile driver? Rhio's signature move, and Rhio says no. Turns it into an air raid crash. Wasting no time. Picks him up. Package pile driver, and Rhio has done it. No, definitely no. The bell sounded. That was a 2. How close was that 2 count? How close was that 2 count? Rhio can't believe it. Rhio heard the bell like we did. Timekeeper getting the jump there, but Rich Swift reassuring us this is far from done. And look at the face of Rhio. She says she's going to move straight on in there. Swings Jack Bandicoot round. Package pile driver again on that injured neck. Once for good. Whoa. And a second package pile driver. Among the thorns has grown and now stands tall as the first ever NCL Cup winner.